I'm Valindanieta and I will be presenting the introduction of TPACK. So basically, TPACK is a framework that identifies the knowledge teachers need to integrate technology effectively into their teaching, whereby using technology as a teaching tool while they are teaching in the classroom. And now I'm going to present what is technological knowledge. So technological knowledge basically described as teachers' knowledge and ability to use various technologies and technological tools and associated resources. And to understand more in a more simple way, it is understanding on how to use technological tools and platforms.
Hi everyone, now we are moving on to the next part, which is pedagogical knowledge, known as PK. So PK is very crucial for effective teaching because it ensures educators to create a meaningful and adaptive learning experiences in the classroom. So now let's look into the key component of PK and along with example. So first point is assessment. So as we know, assessment is a process of evaluating student knowledge, their skill or their performance in school. And most common assessment is exam, presentation, or even peer review. So that's all for the point one. Let's move on to the next point, which is method. So this method is a teaching method that a teacher uses. So for example, like teacher can use audiolingual method in the classroom, they can use collaborative learning method in the classroom. So teacher can use this teaching method based on their student level. Now we are moving on to the third point, which is classroom management. So in this classroom management, a teacher must set a clear rules. For example, raising hand when to speak, and another example, asking for permission if they want to go to toilet or to go out from the classroom. So other than that, teachers also need to create a positive environment. They need to organize a reward system. For example, students who did well on their exam will get a reward. Lastly, classroom layout. So the teacher need to arrange the table, the desk, the chair, ensuring all materials are organized and easily accessible to student, so it can help student to study comfortably. Okay, now we are moving on to the last point, which is feedback and reflection. So feedback and reflection, it helps students to understand what they need to improve and where is the area that they did well. For the teacher perspective, they can create a safe environment where the student feel comfortable sharing and receiving feedback from their peer or from the teacher. And that's all for the pedagogical knowledge part. Hello, we meet again. So now we are going to talk about content knowledge, known as CK. So CK is the understanding of teachers' own knowledge of specific subject matter. And CK is very essential for educators to effectively teach in the classroom and for the students to understand what they teach. For example, history subject, the teacher need to know the date, the historical figure, as well as the significance. So it could help them analyze and interpret historical context and make it easier to teach their student about the cause and the effect in the historical development. As for the next example, mathematics subject. So this subject, the teacher need to understand the concepts such as quadratic formula, statistic function, and graphing, so that it can help them to explain the topic that they want to explain to their student clearly and address the student misconception. And that's all for content knowledge part.
Okay, thank you for the previous presenter. So, for my part, I will explain what is technological pedagogical knowledge and technological content knowledge. So, for the first one, technological pedagogical knowledge refers to the knowledge of how various technologies can be used in teaching, and to understand that using technology may change the way teachers teaching. So, what it means is like for example, it can be like the use of digital whiteboard, the typical digital whiteboard that have touch screens on it as a feature. So the technology improvement of Blackboard or for an educator to erase and adding notes more easier and chockless for the student knowledge transfer process. So with using the digital whiteboard, it's not it's not that it's going to be more efficient. It's also chockless free, so the student won't that have allergic to dust won't have any problem when in the classroom. So for the next one is the technological content knowledge. In short form is TCK. So technological content knowledge refers to the knowledge of how technology can create new representation for specific content. It suggests that certain individual fully understand it and can use the specific technology to change the way the learners practices. So in this matter, such as a math teacher, when he or she teaching mathematics, the technology he or she uses is the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is more like to Excel in can be found on any computer or laptop to easily measure a set of data for pattern on fraction bars. So that is all from me. Thank you.
So, for my part, we're going to talk about pedagogical content knowledge, or simply known as PCK. As defined by Shulman, is a sort of knowledge that is specific to teachers and is based on how they connect their subject matter knowledge, what they know about what they teach, to their pedagogical knowledge. So, Koshran, De Ruyter, and King revised Shulman's original model to be more consistent with a constructivist perspective on teaching learning, and it includes a subject matter, pedagogical knowledge, teachers' understanding of students' abilities, learning stages, ages, developmental levels, their motivations, and also prior knowledge of the concepts being taught. And lastly is the teacher's understanding of the social, political, cultural, and physical environments in which students are asked to learn. So PCK is fundamentally something that describes teacher knowledge regarding foundational areas of teaching and learning, and it includes curricular development, student assessment, and reporting results. It focuses on learning and tracing the links among pedagogy and its supportive practices, curriculum, assessments, etc. Anything that's remotely similar to it. And much like CK, it's also differ according to grade level and subject matter. In all cases, though, PCK seeks to improve teaching practices by creating stronger connections between the content and pedagogy being used to communicate it. That is all. Thank you.
Hi and good morning to my beloved students. So today I will share to you the benefits of TPACK. The first benefit is the strategies for planning and implementing educational technology, because nowadays the educators and students may have their own gadgets, so they can learn anyway and anytime. The second benefit is they can also share more ideas effectively using their technologies, their gadget. And the third benefit is streamlined collaboration and communication. This technology may use online, may use networking learning module, so that they can learn how to communicate to their teachers and fellow peers using online modules. So the fourth benefit is make learning more efficient, effective, and engaging, and also creative. It can build a student more bonding each other, and can create because nowadays the technology as WhatsApp platform or any editing tools can we can use the platform together via online with our friends, and also we can add our educator, our teacher, so that as me also educator can I can moderator you inside the platform and can engaging with my peers and fellow students. So the last but not least, allows teachers to design and implement instruction that is responsive to the needs of students. Okay. For these benefits, the last benefits for me is if me cannot I cannot entering classes, or I cannot going to school in emergency cases or whatsoever, so that I can give the instruction to my student via online, and then they can use their own time, they can manage where they want to do their task by using this technology. So the student, you as a student, not lack at class monitoring, and I can monitor you via online also. There's two for me, the impact on teacher and impact on student. We move on to the impact on teacher. Teacher must be knowledgeable with the curriculum and the component of TPACK to effectively incorporate it into their lesson. So we as a teacher also, we need to construct and we need to analysis the use of the TPACK in our syllabus, so that we can issue accordingly as we should. So the impact on student works more better through technology and can often find content and direct teaching instead. By adding the technology component to the existing PCK model, the student become more engaged in their learning. So this impact on student as we know, student nowadays with their gadget is like their life, so they need to more use the technology to the good need. Okay, all right, we move on to the context influence on TPACK knowledge. As you can see at the slide, there's 6 context influence on TPACK knowledge. Is first, the experience. As a teacher, that we need to experience more the technology and to develop the knowledge and to build more what we call pedagogical content. So next is the context influence is the student, and then resources that we can give to the student, like resources of the knowledge, resources of the syllabus, and then we're going to the objective and aim, and then the main context influence on TPACK knowledge is also the attitude. So we're not using the technology like we must use this technology. No, because as an educator, I must monitor you by face-to-face also, and in class also we can use the technology like our laptop, our projector, not only in online model. So the last context influence on TPACK knowledge is the teacher itself training. Teacher training. If the teacher is not going to training for the technology knowledge, we cannot give you on how to manage and contribute in this TPACK knowledge. So that these all context must be added in our must be influenced on our context, so that the learning flow will what we call going smoothly. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you, my dear student.